Hello, everyone, and welcome once again. My name is Alan Chisco. I'm a motion graphics artist. Today we're going to do part two in my little two-part sort of Knoll Light Factory blog fest orama. Now, technically, the tip that I'm going to show you today, it's not exclusive to Knoll Light Factory. I'm going to be using it with Knoll Light Factory, but you can use it with a bunch of different plugins as well, which I'll show you a little bit later. So, let's take a look at this clip that I've got right here. This is a recent project that I was working on, and we'll just do a little preview, and you can see it kind of scoops around. We've got this text up here, and you'll notice that the text is curved, and not only is it curved, but it's also moving along a path that we've got right here. Plus, there's a camera that's moving in the scene. So what we have is we've got sort of some curvy text that has some really quite sophisticated motion attached to it. Now, this is the problem that I'm running up against. What I'd like to do is I'd like to use Knoll Light Factory just to make kind of a little glow, a traveling glow that I'm going to use to go underneath this text here. I just want it to, move along here, sort of just like that. But as I've pointed out, we've got some problems here. We've got curved text, we've got a camera moving, plus the text itself is moving. So that raises the question: how are we going to make the flare track this text here? So, probably the way that you're going to want to do it is you're going to want to create something. You're going to want to go up to Effect, Knoll Light Factory, Knoll Light Factory. And then you're going to want to, sort of move it here, go to the start of your animation, put a keyframe at the light source, just like that. I'll hit the U key to open that up. You want to move a little bit along, and then click and drag to where you want it, and then move it along, and click and drag like that, and click along, and drag like that, until you get to the end. And then you've got sort of a, let's take a look. You've got something that kind of looks okay, but you can see that it's actually quite a chunky movement. For one thing, the spatial interpolation of the keyframes, it's linear. It kind of goes from here to the next one. Where are we here? There we go. It goes from there to the next one, and it just jumps like that. It's not moving on a nice curved path like that. The other problem that we're having is that we've got some temporal issues. And by that I mean that if we start here, the speed that it's moving at is a certain speed for here, but then we kind of guessed where the next position was going to be for the next keyframe, so it's going to speed up and slow down and speed up and slow down. So what I'm getting at here is that if you do it the manual way, you're going to get jumpy keyframes, you're going to get a jumpy motion path with your with your flare, and it's also going to be jerky. It's going to be moving back and forth. It's just not going to be pleasant. It's not going to be perfectly smooth, which is the goal that I'm trying to accomplish here. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to delete all those and get rid of that. Turn that one off right now. And this is the trick that I'm going to show you today. Okay, follow along with me as I do this little trick. I think the logic will make sense once I get going here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another solid. Just for argument's sake, I'm going to pick a contrasting color to the colors that I've got in my composition here, just so it's a little clearer what I'm looking at. I'm going to make this pretty small. Just 100 by 100 pixels. Hit the OK button. There's our little green solid. I'm going to hit the T key. That's going to bring up opacity. I'm going to lower that down just so that we can see stuff below here. Okay, we're going to start off here. I'm going to go to the start of the text. Let's see, where's the text? Right about, oh, there we go. We see it coming in right here. I'm going to back up just a little bit. And what I'd like to do, imagine that this little green thing, this is going to represent the spatial positioning of the lens flare. Okay? I want it to start offset right here. That's going to be the beginning. I'm going to put a position keyframe here. Then I'm going to go to the end of the composition. I'm going to probably want it to end right about here, and I'm going to drag it right over here like so. Alright, so let's see. Remember I was saying, imagine that the position of this green solid that we've got here is representative of where I want the lens flare to be. Well, it's not even close to where I want it to be. I want it to be up here, and I want it to be traveling in a nice circular path here. But look a little bit closer, and you'll see something that you did not see with the keyframes that we had created earlier when we had the effect. Okay, right here. You see that? Look closely. There's a bunch of little dots, but there's also one larger dot right there. Click on that, and what happens? That's right. We're playing with the Bezier handles. We're making the path curved, okay? If you look over here, it's not there. Oh, yeah, there it is. It's down there. They're really hard to find, but keep your eye open and you'll be able to find it. There we go. Missed it there. I clicked somewhere where I shouldn't. There we go. So move that up. Ah, there we go. Now we're starting to get a little bit closer to where we want to be. And let's move that up just like that. Okay, now at this point in our animation, you can see that the position of the green solid that we've got is where we would like the lens flare to be. Let's just click and drag and move it along. Okay, there. Okay, right there. It's a little bit too high. Okay, no problem. All you do is you click and you drag to move that one down to where you want it to be. It's a little bit of a back and forth process at this point. You know, there we go. It starts off, it's too low, so you grab the actual starting keyframe and move it down. And you sort of click and drag. Now it's a little bit too low there. Grab the handle, move it up just a bit. Okay, back and forth. Okay, now we're getting here. It's a little bit too low at this point, so you grab the other Bezier handle and move that up. And let's see how that looks. That's nice. Now what happens is, if you look here, okay, it starts there. Perfect. It's following beautifully right here. All we had to do was play with the Bezier handles. Moves, moves, moves. Very nice. And it comes down and off. So that's what I want the positioning for the Light Factory to take. Okay, now it's simple. All I got to do is select the position keyframes, copy. We'll go back to our lens flare here. I'm going to, here's a quick little tip. Just apply a little keyframe there, hit U, and the parameter that you want to play around with is revealed, and just that parameter. I'm going to get rid of that little temporary keyframe that I made. With the light source parameter selected, I'm now going to paste. And what am I going to be pasting? Yeah, the position of the solid that I had created with that curve that I had there. Okay, paste that on there, and let's see what happens. There we go. It's starting down there. Click. Beautiful. Look at that. It's following the curve of the text perfectly. We don't have any temporal problems, that is time problems. This movement is smooth over the duration of the animation. We don't have any spatial jumping because the path we created with the Bezier handles from the solid. Okay, so there you go. Now, I mean, that's about it for the little tip. You know, it's a little simple thing. If you wanted, you don't necessarily have to copy and paste keyframes. You could join them via expressions or whatever the case may be. So I mentioned earlier that it's not just for Knoll Light Factory. I mean, if I were doing this, what I'd do is I'd take that and probably put it below the text, sort of like that. And maybe do an add transfer mode or something like that. I usually do add transfer modes whenever I use Light Factory. It just gives a really nice sort of a glow type there. Now, the one thing that you might also consider using this technique for is, all right, we've got it for the glow there, but how about particles as well? Okay, I've created this one. I'm not going to walk through it, but the positioning theory is exactly the same. I'll just hit the U key, zoom out here, and you can see I've just got two keyframes, and if we click and drag, you can see we've got particles, again, that are following just a really nice curved path. Okay, I did the same technique. Solid, make that solid, use the Bezier handles to make the curve, copy and paste the keyframes into the position parameter. In this case, I'm putting it into Trapcode Particular. And when we go back to our composition here, let's see, I'll just unhide the little layer that I've got here. There's particles, and there we go. So now you've got some really nice sophisticated movement that serves to highlight in this case, the text that I've got very, very nicely. No problems with the curve, no problems with the speed and the velocity. It's fast, it's quick, it's easy, and it's effective. So there you go. That's my tip for the day. Knoll Light Factory Part 2. We'll call it a particular tip as well. Why not? My name again is Alan Schisko. Thanks for listening, and I will talk to you again next time.